Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. My name is Raheem Osman out of Atlanta, Georgia, but I got my brother from another mother, but we got the same father here with us this morning. This is how we gonna say that thing? LJ. I gotta make sure I say it right. This is LJ. This is the captain. This is Captain Leonard. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Well, I'm gonna let the people know. Good morning, Raheem and the Morning Go family. But he's putting himself through this stress. Trust me, he is
Wow.
putting himself through this stress.
Come on now,
You can
man.
call it a fly on the wall. How about that?
A fly on the wall. Yes, and Leonard, I got to say this to you, man. I got to say this to you, Leonard. Man, we took them kids on that
Mhm.
trip to Six Flags over Georgia. I've been talking about this thing for a long time. I've been having events and stuff like that. Some of the events didn't pan out the well because the result wasn't what I wanted in regards to the amount of funds that I wanted to raise to take the kids to Six Flags. But God placed on my heart. He said, "Listen, go to the community," and I did, man. I went to the community, and the community responded, man. The
Mhm.
community responded. People started sending money. 500. One fella, man. He don't want me to say his name on air. He don't want me to say his name, but I'm gonna talk to him again because I want to acknowledge him too. But he said, "Listen, Raheem, real good friend of mine, man." He said, "Listen," he said, "How's that thing going that you're trying to do with Six Flags?" I said, "Man, it's going all right, man. He said, "Listen, how much you trying to raise?" And I told him. He said, "Okay, this is what I'm gonna do." He said, "Whatever you raise, however the money you raise, I'm gonna double it up to $2,500." I said, "What?" He said, "Whatever you raise, I'm gonna double it up to $2,500." He said, "So if you raise 2,500, I'm gonna give you 2,500. You'll have 5,000."
It's awesome.
I was like, "Man," I said, "Man, you serious?" He said, "Listen," he said, "Raheem, have I ever lied to you?" I said,
Mhm.
"No." I said, "No, you not that I know of." And he held true to his word, man. We raised X amount of money, and he got in contact with me, called me for some information, and he said, "Look here, I got a check for you." He said, "You want me to pick it up, or you want me to?" They got them thing. I ain't know they had this. They got the thing where they could e checks now. They can see.
Yeah,
I was like, I said, "What you mean e-check?" He said, "I can send you an e-check." He said, "You just sign off, print it out, go to the bank, and cash it." I said, "Man, man." I said, "Man, that ain't." I said, "That legal?"
as crazy as it is, I
Yeah.
just did it.
Wow. Wow.
Crazy as it is, I just had that situation where I had to do some business that way. First time.
Yep, yep. I was like, "Man," I said, "Man, is that?" I asked him, I said, "Man, is that legal?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Cat." He said, "I'm gonna send it to you." He said, "Either you can, have them to deposit it into your account. If you do that, they're gonna take some money off of it, or you can just print out a check and take the check to your bank and cash it."
Hmm.
Okay, I said, "Okay," and he did. I printed the check out. Next day, I took it to the bank. They didn't give me no hassle at all, man. They said, "Oh, I seen." They said, "Oh, I seen this before," and I was like, I'm like, "What you have?" I'm thinking in my mind, "You have? Oh, okay." I'm looking. I'm looking to see if the police gonna come to the door at any minute now. But yeah, man. But what happened was, and I didn't want to. I got some videos. I got some pictures of the groups that we had, but I didn't want to expose. I didn't. It wasn't about showing the kids off and stuff like that. It was just about them having a good time. And
Yeah,
so
glad it turned out well.
it did, man. It did, man. I'm gonna tell you something. It was hot though. God almighty.
Oh, I told
Woo!
I've been through it, man. I've had kids that were Six Flags fanatics. I took them once. They mama took them all the
Man, I'm gonna tell you, it was hot as the dickens out there, man. It was
other. Indeed.
on the car and I don't know how this worked, man, but on the way back, looking at the thermometer on the car on the van that we had, and at one point it must be a humidity, but it said 105. I said, "Man, ain't no 105." It's hot, but that joker said 105. I was like, "Oh my god, I know it ain't that hot."
No, I don't think I didn't think it got that high yesterday, but I wasn't out there in it. So
Man, it felt like 120. It felt like 120. But yeah, but at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, we fed had we went out to Sam's and we bought a lot of food, man. We bought a lot of food, man. And had make sure that to eat. We bought a lot of drinks and stuff like that. I'm gonna tell you something later. We and Tucson, I know Tucson, I know you're here, brother. Going to come to you in a minute. But we let them play for a couple hours, took them out, and put the whole spread out. We put the whole spread of food out. Man, we had drinks, food, chips, all kind. We had all kind of stuff. We just bought all kind of stuff, and we said, "Go ahead, get what you want." Get what you want. And my wife was actually, we had sandwiches and stuff like that too. My wife was actually making the sandwiches because they want, everybody putting their hand all over the stuff like that, but they've been out there playing. Their little hands ain't clean. So we had sanitizer, hand sanitizer and stuff like that, and the wipes for the hands, but still, we talking about kids, man. We talking about kids, but man, they got to eat. And when they got to eat, man, it was one, he kept going back, and I don't know what his situation is, but he kept going back to get some more. But he always was trying to cuff. He was trying to cuff, right? And I went up to him. I put kind of put him. I said, "Hey, let me talk to you for a minute." And he said, "Yes, sir." I said, all that stuff over there, because we had a lot. I said, "All that stuff over there." He said, "Yes." I said, "All that's yours." He said, "Huh?" I said, "All that's yours. That's your food." He said, "It is." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, you ain't gotta do that, man. You want some more, go get some more." For real? I said, "Yeah." I said, "Go over there, get you one of them Capri Suns or something." I said, "Just go over there and pick it up and bring it back over here." He went over there, picked it up, brought it back to me. Ain't nobody said nothing to him. I said, "See?" I said, "That's your food. You ain't gotta do that, man." I said, just enjoy the food." He said, "Oh, okay, okay." And he lit up a little bit, man, and that joke went and got another sandwich. But see, I say that because we gave them the freedom. Just there was no holding back, and no, you get this amount of you. No, let them kids have fun, man. Let them if they want it, let them. Just don't let them overindulge themselves when they're gonna roll over. But you know what I mean. But as far as that, man, we just let them be kids, man. Man, they had a fantastic time, and it was just good to see. It was good to see. It was good to see.
I'm pretty sure they'll never forget it.
Praise God, and that's my prayer right there. That they always not
Right.
remember me, but remember the moment.
Yeah.
Remember the moment. Mm-hmm. Tucson, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Hey, doing good. I was telling Lynn about that experience that we had yesterday, man. Tucson, it was amazing, man.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
I bet it was.
Yes, sir. Just to
I
see
bet you one thing, you feel better too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Just the idea of God, man. See, and people say what they want to say, man. But just the idea of God using you in that way, it's amazing, man. And just
Nice.
look at them young folk eyes, man. And I had some people call me, man, and they was telling me that, man. I saw that video of the kids getting off the bus, and they point to particular ones and stuff like that, man. And
Yeah.
just how excited they was, and how they were just over the top happy. I don't care what they're going through in their personal lives, man. But that moment, they didn't have to worry about it. They didn't have to worry about it, man. They could just run, play, and be kids. At that moment that they had yesterday. Now I don't know what they went back home to. I don't know. I pray that it was good. But I will say this: during the time that they was at that Six Flags, there and on the way back, they didn't have to worry about nothing. Just play. Just be kids. Just be kids. Talk to me, Tucson. You do stuff like this all the time, man. Talk to me, brother.
Yeah, I mean that's good. I think that when you see something like that happen, and you're a part of it, it makes you feel like you got purpose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely.
And so that was good for me. And I wasn't there. Sorry about that, but hey. But just we talk about our kids all the time and what we need to be doing for them. The trouble, and I don't want to put a negative tone on it, but when it get time to actually do it, you look around and all you can find is 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But the 2 or 3,
yeah,
you do it and be done with it,
and
and it makes you feel like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
You accomplished something, man. Thank you. I don't know who the parents are, but from me to you and your wife and all that participate, even the bus driver. Thank you, man,
Mm-hmm.
for that, adding some life and some joy to somebody's life. That's good. Man.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
good.
And
Good to see.
and you know what, Tucson? I was the bus driver.
You was a bus driver?
Yes,
You
sir.
wait a minute, bro. Hey, Leonard, watch this, Leonard.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Uh-oh. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Here come the gut punch. Here
What you
come the
call one of them little seats? What you call them little seats that you put in the seat? Booster
boost.
Booster seats.
No, but I'm gonna tell you something. That seat will go up and down and forward and back, and it adjusted perfectly. It adjusted perfectly. And see,
Okay, well, good.
I say bus driver, but it was one of them 15 passenger vans, and then we had another van.
Man, that was
Yeah,
nice too.
yeah. We had that's what I drove. I drove the 15 passenger van, and like I said, my wife had another.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my wife had another van, man. You know, because we had more than that, so we couldn't put everybody in one van, so we had to get two.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to get two. So my wife drove the small. Mhm. Yeah, and so
Okay.
that's where we were.
All right.
But
That was
that's
good, man.
yeah, man. I appreciated it, man.
Good
I
to hear.
definitely appreciated it, man. I appreciated the moment. I appreciated being there with them kids, man. And like I said again, just watching them be kids, man. You can't put a price tag on that. You can't. You can't put a price tag on it. But anyway, let me go back to Captain Leonard. Captain Leonard, what is
Yes.
going on now? This debate, is it gonna happen, man? What's going on in the political world? What's going on in the world of politics?
Yeah, the debate is supposed to happen. I think that it'll be interesting, and also, I'm really not sure when people say if you're waiting on this debate to make a decision, you're probably misinformed anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
There's really not, it's not necessary for a debate when you know that the other person is just not going to be truthful with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but however, as the schedule goes along, the toss has been, they actually decide how it ends with a coin toss, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
And whether or not you win the coin toss, you determine whether or not you want to go first or you want to go last,
Mm-hmm.
have the last word, or what have you. So we know that President Trump will be will be speaking last, but
Mm-hmm.
I would let people know it's the context of that message is not going to change.
No,
It's
no.
going to be the same. So if you run into people talking about, well, I'm waiting on the debates, and you're misinformed and you already have ill intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Because rather than get a grasp of the policy and the platform and see how that weighs against the people that you love and the communities that you represent,
Mm-hmm.
you would let some trickster trick you out of that and then go and vote misinformed that way or under an impression of some type.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Both of these men have been president. You know what they are like. You've been listening to them for how many years now? So when you listen to the debate, it shouldn't be I'm gonna decide who to vote for.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or to see who gets the most laughs. It's a
And
lot
that's
more
the thing.
lots more important than that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest things that are going on right now is unprecedented as it relates to the number of rulings that the Supreme Court will be delivered these next 3 days,
Mm-hmm.
because they will be going on break at the end of June, I believe, is when they take their break.
Mm-hmm.
And so these next 3 days, we have lots of things there as it relates to the abortion bans. There's about since the court became so conservative and struck down Roe versus Wade, there have been about 21 states that have really restricted abortions, regardless. And the argument is that not only should this not be restricted at all, even the restrictions put in place overstep the bounds of what's constitutional and what's not. So
Mm-hmm.
right now, of course, the states are doing whatever they want, and the Supreme Court will make a final judgment on these abortion bans and whether they're unconstitutional or not.
Are they?
Well, some of them are as it relates. Well, first of all, I believe they all are unconstitutional because they take away women's reproductive rights or the rights they should have to reproduce, how they see fit, and to make those decisions alone. And so, one of the issues is emergency care, for instance. If you are dealing with an emergency situation, do you let the mother die? There are some people just that cruel. They'd rather let the mother die.
Yeah.
Just to say they have a ban on abortion. You look at those states who all of them don't have laws that protect women against rape and incest.
Yep.
So you have to look at those types of things. Homelessness is there at the Supreme Court level. Is it unconstitutional to criminalize individuals who are sleeping on the street? So that's a homelessness case that made it all the way to the Supreme Court, and it's being challenged because it's almost cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah.
As it relates to the Eighth Amendment. Then you have issues also with social media and free speech and how companies restrict what you say. Remember, restrictions and things like that are only allowed as they fit with law. So you may not be able to say anything, but we also see issues and things of that nature where people say things that plan to commit crimes now. And all these sorts of things. So they're going in and they're looking at social media regulation and free speech. And that's a big deal. That's, I think, a lot of people may find themselves, we make fun about it, Facebook jail and all of that.
Yeah.
That's something Facebook does. Now, Twitter and some people are not affiliated with Facebook, for instance, may not have the same rules. Some people prefer other platforms because you may be able to say hateful speech on those. Because you got to remember, people want freedom of speech to say what they want, but they also want freedom of speech to say things like, hey, I'm going to go shoot up a school.
Wow.
With prosecution. So there definitely needs to be some regulation there as it relates to what people say and how what they say is being used and what is actually being allowed. Some people don't want you to say positive things about Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Especially if their company, Twins lean Republican. So if you want to say something positive about Joe Biden, they will want to block that because they don't like him, or President Trump for that matter. So those are the issues that go before the Supreme Court, that they're delivering some real hard-hitting rulings. And this is the end of their session. So I would definitely advise folks, go to the USSupremeCourt.gov website, and it makes no sense to not know 2 days in a row. I don't told you where it's at. Go get it.
Go get it. Absolutely. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Brother Mo, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Slowly recovering and healing from my surgery, which put me down for quite a bit.
Look at God. Look at God. Look at God.
Yeah, being under general anesthesia 3 times and being cut twice, and within a 6-month period of time, really shows you what you can and cannot do. When God tells you, sit down, you're doing too much. Exactly. You don't believe me? I'm going to make you sit down. So literally sit down.
There you go. There you go.
I encourage all Black men to take care of their health.
Exactly.
This is straight up Black men's health, diet, exercise, daily movement, meditation, de-stressing, all of that I've had to deal with. Exactly.
And I'm glad that God looked out for you, man, and he pulled you through it. You're on a healing road now. You're on the healing road.
You're on the healing road. So exactly. You guys are covering a lot of different things here from the debate to the Supreme Court. So I'm going to tackle.
Let's talk right now about the abortion rights. Are they being compromised? Is it unconstitutional what they're trying to do?
Yes, of course it is. And you and I like what Chris Rock had said. I think it was Bring the Pain in his special. An abortion is between a woman, a doctor, and her girlfriends. When it comes to that particular choice over a body to bring another soul in the world, as much as we as fathers would say, or as men would say, no, I want my baby, I want my seed, da 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 da. It's up to the woman who can die in childbirth, who, and all of this, and the baby could have birth defects, and she could bring forth a child only to see it die as soon as it takes its first and last gulp of air. And there was a situation, and I'll have to look it up and find it to you, just recently in the news, where a woman almost died because she couldn't get her abortion and she had to go out of state. To do that. But the other thing is this Georgia heartbeat bill, which has passed in different particular aspects. What I stated before is the Republicans are taking a taking a page from Barack Obama's book about all laws starting on the community, grassroots level, little neighborhoods, and building the swell. So like right now, Georgia is on a cusp, and I reported about this 3 or 4 years ago, and with rolling out in HuffPost, to where they're if you get a girl pregnant, if I'm talking, let's talk pre-kids, or pre-teens and everything else, okay, still under the parents' roof. If a girl is pregnant, proven she is pregnant by the guy, his parents, whoever his legal guardians are, can be made to pay child support during the pregnancy. And the fetus, because of that, the fetus can be, you can actually register the fetus and get a social security number to get benefits. That is the full, what Georgia's laying down. Louisiana, same path, but now they have chemical castration. People didn't believe me when I wrote this article and saying I was using this black man's face, and that was from Shutterstock. You just they're image free, or you pay 89 cents. When I was writing for one national media outlet, people were outraged why they got to choose a black man, because the black man, in this case, because he was convicted of rape or child molestation, was given a choice of chemical castration and even physical castration to lessen or get out. So they're castrating in that regard. So yes, the abortion rights, the whole abortion law is steadily being eroded. But while they want, and let's break it down, it's the white establishment who's white people demographically, and this is proven by the CDC, they have a lower birth rate. Okay, there's no issue with them, with protecting them. But the black kids, the black women, and all of that, it doesn't matter to them, and they're not going to support them. And now jumping real quick to the Supreme Court, and Leonard, he kind of broke it down. Everything else, I don't know if everybody knows that each justice on the Supreme Court is in charge of one U.S. appellate court. Okay, and that when the cases come through the courts, they come through one justice. They have to pass certain hurdles to get to the court. Not everything is like immediately, it goes to Supreme Court. You got to get a writ of certiorari to be heard in front of the courts. Amicus curiae, front of the courts stuff has to be filed. All of this. And when they go on break, it leaves stuff hanging. Like they may leave the Trump thing hanging right now for further review. But we have to look at the traditionalist and revisionist court, But there's another aspect of the activist court.
Mm-hmm.
The activist court wants to change things. Clarence Thomas is an activist judge on the conservative bench.
Wrap it up for me, brother. I got to go to Tucson for a second.
That's it.
Okay. Tucson, what do you think about this whole situation, man? Are they targeting, like what Mo was just saying, he think is a target on the black community with this whole abortion thing? Do you see that, or is it just cruel individuals that want to have control over a woman's body?
A little bit of both.
Mm.
They're on both sides. That's just me. I don't, I'm not. That's why I was listening, because Mo and Leonard are stating some facts based on knowledge. I'm just talking.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well admit it. I'm just talking.
Uh-huh.
But most of the time, and we hear it all the time, white males that want to dictate what somebody else do, because it don't have nothing. There's a gain in there for them for somewhere, and that's just me talking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They don't have a dog in the hunt, but they want it to be about them, and since they got a say and a platform and a position to manipulate other folks' lives, that's what they do, and they've been doing it over and over and over and over again.
Wow.
My opinion is, I think that women should make their own choices for their lives and the lives of a child that could bring some unfound memories, and some you wonder why some women mistreat their child, because it's the molester's child. That's just me talking. It's the rape victim, the rapist child that they got to live with. Somebody has made a decision that you can't abort them, so they have to live with it and try to be manipulated by somebody else, telling them what to do with their bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people die trying to have a baby. And the doctor then told them, if you carry this baby through its term, the baby may make it, but you won't. Now, what decision do you want to make? So some women have decided, well, you know what? I'm going to live. And we'll try it again another time. So anyway, I'm listening, Raheem, because there's some things that's being said that need to be heard.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't know how personal I want to make this thing. But I was one of those children, man, that my mother was young when she had me, and my mother was in a coma for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, and my mom was in a coma, didn't even know I was here. And the doctor went to my grandmother, and her daughter, my mother, said that we could only save one of them. Both of them ain't gonna make it. You have to make a decision which one you want us to save, either your grandchild or your daughter. Which one? And they told me this story, man. I was like, wow. But my grandmother would not make that decision. She told me, she did what grandmothers do. She said, you go in there and save both of them. You do what you got to do. I'm gonna do what I have to do. And they say my grandmother went away. As the story goes, my grandmother went away found her own little place in that hospital over there in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, because the hospital in the city that we was in could not they couldn't handle it. It was a smaller hospital, so they had to send us to Chapel Hill, which was the main hospital. She said, do what you have to do, and I'm gonna go do what I have to do. And anybody that's spiritual know what she meant when she said that. She went into found her place, and she went into prayer. And a few hours later, this old knucklehead that you see right here, I was here. And my mother, she tuned in every morning. She'll be on later on today at some point. She's still here. And so my thing is, people say what they want to say. Them doctors say what they want to say. I know this is about abortion, but I just want, when y'all said that part, it kind of sparked something in me. Let God be God, y'all. Let God be.
It's just incredible, Raheem. It reminds me of Farrakhan. It said his mama tried to abort him 3 times. 3 times. And you never know the hidden treasure. That's why Black people like yourself and others, you're not wearing gold, but the hidden gold within you that comes out is so important. The hidden treasure.
Yes, sir. To God be the glory, brother. To God be the glory. But yeah, man, they try to make my grandmother make a decision, man. They try to make her make a decision. And in a heated situation like that, in a moment like that, you know, there's a lot going on in your mind. There's a lot going on, Leonard. There's a lot going on in a person's mind in a situation like that. You know, if they get caught up in that moment, they're gonna listen to what them people say. And she would have made a decision, this one or that one. But she said, no, y'all go do what y'all do. I'm gonna do what I do. And she prayed, man. And thank God he answered the prayers. Talk to me, Leonard.
It's things like that where we understand that the situation has to be left to the person having the child and making a decision. Only time that ever should come into question, of course, is in marriage. And so this notion that it's either a black or a white issue, it's much bigger than that. It's not just a black and white issue. It's once again an assertion of white male dominance over females. The Donald Trump made it clear. Look what I did to those women.
Wow.
Now I control whether or not they have babies or not. So that's what it's about. So people have to take all their emotion out of everything and realize, would you want somebody making you do something you didn't want to do? Think about it from the woman's point of view. Man, because you'll never be in that situation.
Yeah.
And most of those men who support these types of restrictions are not men you want to be involved with, women. Hear me closely. They're not men you want to be involved with. Because it's a control thing.
Yes.
To be able to control whatever it is that you do, regardless if they have committed to you, treating you right, love you or not. You need to be a lot more conservative when it comes to who you allowing to impregnate you. Because now they're trying to make you have everybody's baby, anybody's baby. It's bad enough you got yourself in a situation, but it's even worse when somebody else is cracking the whip against you. So women, remember that when you march, when you thinking about voting Republican, this is what they are about. Controlling your something as natural as having a child.
Come on.
They want to take that from you too. Remember when you couldn't own property? Remember when you couldn't vote?
Yes. Yes.
What do you think it's about? This is very difficult when it comes to explaining to people about the lines they drawing and the teams they rooting for. You rooting for a team that don't care nothing about you. Not one proposal supports equal rights for women. When was the last time Republicans put forth legislation on behalf of women?
I can't remember.
Exactly. Equal pay. When was the last time Republicans did that? When was the last time Republicans were concerned about anything as it relates to a woman's ability to choose whether or not she wants to give birth? I can't think of anything more sacred than that. Can you, Raheem?
No.
If there's a woman that can think of it, please call in. If you worth anything, you wouldn't go in there and vote Republican.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you know your worth.
And if anybody care for their mother, sister, nieces,
Oh yeah,
whoever it is in your life, if you care for them, if you have a care for them, you will not vote that way.
as a matter of fact, I challenge one man, just one, call in here and make a rational support for banning abortion.
508-924-3521. That's the number. He challenged you. You're listening. I see the numbers, y'all listening. I see the numbers, y'all out there, and y'all are definitely listening. So call in 508-924-3521. If you think that in any kind of way abortion is good, it's a good thing, call, let us know what you mean. Explain express yourself. Express yourself. Yeah.
And also, I of course I didn't like how you said, right.
Come on.
We're not saying good or bad. It's a decision. It's just about how they feel and if they support banning abortion.
And should they and should the woman have the right, if she so decide to do so, should she have the right to have an abortion? Because some people say that, and this is one of the arguments that they have. Well, you got to know that if the baby is conceived, then you're committing murder because you're killing a child, you're killing a baby. That's an argument I heard some of them say. That is murder, and you're killing a baby. That's one of the arguments that I heard them say. But there's what about the situations where there's, like you said, rape, molestation, or different things of that nature? Do you still consider that the same thing? Should the woman have to endure carrying a child for 9 months when she was raped, molestation, when she was incest, or whatever it is? Do you want this woman to have to carry this child for 9 months and then give birth? Excuse me, and then give birth to this child. And after she give birth to the child, somebody got to raise the child.
That's right. Can I say something real quick?
Absolutely. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. So the first thing, and this may upset a lot of people, but in America, United States of America, we're supposed to live in a secular society. Okay. That was one of the things the founders of this country said. Hey, when you bring religion into stuff, it just messes everything else up. Thomas Jefferson was a Unitarian. He has there's the Jeffersonian Bible that is used, where he actually clipped out certain things in the Bible that he felt because there was one God. The whole thing with Jesus and stuff, he had issues with that. But fundamentally, when we're talking about abortion in the United States, if you're coming from a religious perspective, you need to take yourself out the whole conversation, because we can go through any religion on down the line, and there are, we don't have to. You can be in this country and not be an atheist, an agnostic. And you, because of the rights you have as a citizen in this country, do not have to have a person who's religious have their views put upon you. Period. So you talk about murdering a child. That's the point of conception. When is the soul joined? When is the soul created? Hey, if you don't believe in any and all that, if you just believe that we are zygotes, cells, molecules, and stuff, that's your particular belief. If it comes down to where it's your life or the life of, or cells that are growing in you that you don't want to grow in you, it's your right as an American to say, no, I don't want this. This is going to kill me. This is going to create things. It's going to change my body forever as a woman. Hormones are going to be produced or they're not produced in women who don't have children. And guess what? I don't want this. And this is not my punishment for extramarital sex or anything like that. No slut shaming, nothing. Nothing like that.
Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. And where our ladies at this morning? I want our ladies to call in too, because you have a different view, a different take on this thing, because it's about you. So, ladies, where y'all at? Give us a call. Tell us how y'all feel about this whole abortion situation. Is it right, wrong? Is it evil? What is it? How do you see it? Give us a
And you,
call. Give us a call. 508-924-3521. Go ahead, Leonard.
and also you have to consider the other two opinions that we're looking for in the next 3 days is the president. Remember, I spoke about presidential immunity, where Trump is claiming he should be able to do whatever he would like, and he thinks the court should support him. And that's why he was so interested in getting these judges on this court. Also, January 6th is an issue.
Yes.
They're trying to go light on them. They want to try to make it think that their punishments would be unconstitutional for what these people did. There are some people believe that they shouldn't be punished.
Wow.
Not so severely. Do you know what we do to enemy combatants of the United States of America?
Punish them severely. Punish them severely. Absolutely.
Do you know we people when we want information from them? So we have to understand what is going on, and it's accessible. No longer can people use the excuse they don't know. No, you didn't go look because it's there. I just told you. Now I can't. I can do my best to explain it to you, but I can't make you understand it.
Hey, Brother Leonard, the whole thing is you got to remember this is going to go back, and I'm waiting to hear if they're going to go back to United States versus Nixon, 1972.
Because that's the closest precedent.
Yeah.
And it ruled against Nixon. It ruled against Nixon, and he had Supreme Court justices that he appointed there too.
And the reason why it's so important is for the very reason that he interfered in an election.
Yeah.
Remember, we have fought back and forth, even as a person who has worked with several elections. No intimidation at the polls. You should have a right to be able to go in and vote without somebody possibly threatening to murder you outside. When you hinder elections and you hinder people from voting, every African American and anybody that knows the history of this place should remember who took up this challenge so that everybody could have the right to vote. It was African Americans fighting for that right to vote.
Yep.
While they were trying to do everything they can to prevent you from voting. All types of laws in all different states just to keep people with black skin from voting. Don't come to me talking about the red, black, and the green and all this unity in the community and you don't vote.
Yeah.
Because one, you're not even doing what you can without bloodshed. You're not doing that simple thing. Or are you just like them?
Exactly. Wow. 508-924-3521. Toussaint, we also talked a little bit briefly about the homeless situation and what are they going to do about the homeless conditions here in the United States of America, because you could almost go to any major city, in any city, and find a homeless situation.
Wait a minute, I can hardly hear you for some reason. It is my background. Say it again.
Okay, we also spoke about the homeless situation, because you could go to almost every city in the United States of America and find homeless, a homeless population. So what do we go? What do we have? Do we have some kind of plan? A lot of people's ideas: go out there and get a job. Go out there and get a job. You ain't got to be homeless. Go out there and get a job. Go to work. I work, so you should be able to. You should have to work too. That's their attitude. But there's a lot of elements that go into a person being homeless. I don't think that 80% of them want to be homeless. Some of them just fell into situations. So what do you say? What should we do as a community, as a nation? What should we do about the homeless situation?
Look into mental health and the funding and who it goes to. Mental health. I mean, there are some people. I want to say something else about this critical abortion thing because we're hypocrites. I'll come back to that. But there are people that get in situations that cause them mental issues, and that's why they're homeless. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
And the stress of life will drive you crazy.
Yeah.
And some people can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the waste of it comes from the political arena. The waste of it, people just don't want to deal with. For instance, the insurance business. I'm sorry, Raheem. Apologize. But I wish I could get all the money that I spent on insurance that I did not use.
Yes, sir.
I don't tear my car.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things that happens at the house. I can take care of it myself without making an insurance claim.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get all that money back that I've insured vehicles and didn't have an accident, and you got to pay. You got to have insurance. You have to. So anyway,
should insurance be illegal? Because they're robbing you without a gun. Should insurance be illegal?
It's almost necessary, but I wouldn't say illegal. It needs to be better monitored.
Mm-hmm.
Because some insurance agents become millionaires while their clients be uninsured at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You think about our parents that pay insurance. You see my phrase, one white man come in the neighborhood and he comes once a month and they pay $25, $35, something like that, whatever, $15, $20. And when the relative dies, there's no insurance. They give them a couple of $100.
Yeah.
Man, they've been paying for years.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They don't.
So that should be more monitored better. Let me tell you what I wanted to say about the hypocrisy about abortion. How many people you know on birth control?
Yeah.
How many people encourage their child to use contraceptive?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? If that ain't birth control or abortion, then what is it?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I tell a simple joke, and it's not funny, but we were in a conversation with a bunch of men, and we were talking about, our intimate lives, and one of them said, man, how many children you got? And one said 5, one said 3, one said 2. He says that one of them said, I got a bunch of children, but I fucked them all.
Wow. 508-924-3521. Is that abortion? Birth control, contraceptives. Is that another form of birth control?
Well, Raheem, according to the Catholic Church, it's a sin to use birth control. Okay, and they look at it that perspective. You're denying a child being born. Sex is only supposed to be used for procreation. That's if you follow that particular religious norm.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted you kind of jumped to, should insurance be legal, to abortion, to mental health. So I wanted to go back to the mental health thing.
Mm-hmm.
If that's okay.
Yeah, it is. Do it quick. I got somebody holding on the line, so I want to get to them as well. Don't want them to think I forgot about them. Cassandra, I see you there. Go ahead.
Okay, so Fulton County, South Fulton has just opened a new behavioral crisis center on Metropolitan Parkway, and I put the link to the article on your Facebook page there too. That's the whole thing when we talk about mental health care. And me personally, having a family member go through all of this, and instead of getting the health care they needed, was put into the system. Now, you want to talk about something, and I applaud South Fulton, and it's going to be a resource, I think, for Fulton, period, especially in the Greenbrier, Hunter Hills area. And that's the step that needs to be done within our neglected behavioral health community. And even with insurance, a lot of doctors I've talked to have found out they've been dumped without notice because of Kemp's healthcare plan and not expansion of Medicare for that. And people are losing healthcare coverage because of that. And it goes into, if you got a person, let's say they had a mental health crisis, they go to state prison. State prison, every prisoner has to have a job in state prison. The state of Georgia pays prisoners 83 cents an hour. 83 cents an hour. Because they're getting skills and they get money in their commissary. That whole mental health to prison pipeline is extremely important too. That's what I needed to say.
Wow, good deal, good deal. Cassandra Alexander Green, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, is this whole bill, this abortion bill that they have right now that they're supposed to be revisiting, is it unconstitutional? Is it illegal? Is it immoral to have individuals to tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her body? What do you say to that, Cassandra?
Yeah, I've always had a problem with that, because the freedom of choice, which even God gives us, freedom of will, is it should be up to that woman. And I've said this on many occasions. Women, and I'm talking to those of y'all that just nasty and will not protect your own self and use abortion as a clearance, for you to go on and keep being nasty. And I mean that, because my grandmother would say, one time it may be a mistake, 2 times, you really need to check yourself. 3 times, you just meant to do it. I mean, because we can protect our own self. And then when you talk about the last statement that was made about women using contraception, I don't get it, because it's just like you might as well have had an abortion, because you're preventing the child from being conceived. So it's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to this issue. And my thing will always be, no one has the right, and even God says that He gives you free will. It's your decision. It should be the woman's decision, not a bunch of white old men sitting inside a meeting and making those type of decisions for women. I just don't agree with that.
Wow. What is it? What is it, Cassandra, that leads you to believe that a man think he would have that right, or should have that right, to tell a woman that she could not have an abortion? Is it ego? Is it the fact that he's looking at saying that is murder? Or what do you think would lead him to think that is okay?
I don't know, because I don't think like a man, so I have no idea what is the conceived notion that they should make, that a man should make that decision for a woman. I don't get it. I don't see. You don't carry babies. You don't go through what we go through. So how is it that you get to make the decision for me? I don't understand that, and never have, and probably never will, because it doesn't make sense. No one can know my body and what I'm capable of, or what I want to go through, more than me.
Yeah.
So for you to make those choices, to me, it doesn't even make sense. I don't comprehend it. Period.
Wow. Leonard, what do you think it would be to lead a man into thinking that he have the right to tell a young lady what she can and cannot do with her body? What do you think it is? What led to that? Okay, we lost Leonard. We got him back. Okay, Leonard, what do you think it is? What would lead a man into thinking that he have that right?
Well, it's not that complicated.
Mm-hmm.
It's control. That's all that is. That's all it is. It's control. I mean, there doesn't have to be some big complicated situation. It's just that a man wants to force a woman to do what he tells them to do, or forces them to do.
Wow.
And so, and then if you hide behind the Bible for everything, that shows another way that they use supremacy and religion to try to control everything. Because some of them believe they have the right to do that. Reproduction is not as much as a civil right as it is a human right.
Mm-hmm.
It don't have to be written anywhere. As a human being, what type of person are you that makes you even want to be on the same side of people that would want to take that away from a woman? Think about it. What type of person are you?
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to talk about everybody else. What type of person are you that you would want to control someone else's life that way? Because that's all it is. It's trying to control someone else's choices. You can say, like Mo was talking about, you can be religious about it or whatever. We can pull your record too.
Yes.
Because when it comes to religion, now we're not talking about, we're just talking about sin, pure old sin.
True.
So you can toss that ball back and forth, but this is why it's so important to make sure we insist on separation of church and state. The school is not a church, and the teacher is not a preacher, and students are not your congregation. And we have to stick to this to make sure that people still have the freedom to choose.
Yeah.
And we're not going to talk about all the other situations that people are in or how they living and all that. We're not even going to talk about that. This is about a woman who is deciding not to give birth for some reason.
Do you buy into what was said about contraceptive and birth control also being a form of abortion?
Well, to me, it's prevention. It's prevention. And so people get taught, like I say, once you thinking from a book, that's how you get messed up. Every woman lives with the decision she makes. That's why it should be her choice. If you marry to a woman whom you can't trust that way, you need to divorce that woman.
508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We're talking about the abortion bill today and how it's going to be revisited. Is it unconstitutional? Is it wrong? Is it just evil for a man to think that he could tell a woman what to do with her body? Is it just evil? Is it a male macho situation?
Even is it more evil that you can decide not to support the child when it get here?
And we all, yeah, that's fact. That's fact. And we also talked about abortion, not abortion, but we talked about when a woman is abused, raped, molested, incest, when there's incest going on. Should you punish this young lady for 9 months to have to carry a baby growing inside of her, knowing how the traumatic situation, how that baby was placed there? Rape, molestation, incest, and then there's other areas as well, but I'm just concentrating on those three. Should this young lady have to carry that child for 9 months? Revisit every time the baby kick, move, or whatever. Revisit how the child got there. Is that Cassandra? I'm gonna go to Tucson after that, but Cassandra, could that be mental abuse?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Okay, say that again.
Can that be a form of mental abuse if a lady was raped, molestation, incest, and
yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure that was clearly what I heard. Yeah, that is abuse. Now, not to see. My thing is, we talk about God, but we diminish his power and his omnipotence, his omnipresence. We forget that God, if God wants a child to come here, who can stop the child from being born? I'm just asking, and I'm not talking about, because God, in his infinite wisdom, in his infinite power, I don't care if that child doesn't come through that particular woman. If a child is to be born on this earth, he is coming to this earth. I don't care. I know people that have tried to do abortion and it didn't work. I know people that were raped and they had the baby. That's because God had his hand. Whatever God wants to happen. You understand what I'm saying? If you are to be here, you will be here. So your mama thought your mama didn't want to have you because she'd been raped. But guess what? You here. And you're functioning. Why? Because the ultimate power, God gives us free will, right? Yes. But do you know that God can, he said the king's heart is in his hand, and as the rivers flow, he changes it the way he wants to. So y'all act like God ain't got no power.
Come on.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Raheem, people act like God don't have no power. What God says is going to be, will be.
Yes.
I don't care what you thinking, it'll be. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think people, and this goes beyond even what a person's will may be. He says, Raheem, please, if you just if people would just pay attention, if God says it is, it will be, it will be. Even if you say, I don't want this, I can't do this, God will change your mind. And you trying to figure out, okay, why did I decide to do this? And don't even understand why. Because that's who he is. And whatever God decides to do in a particular situation, that is what's going to happen. I'm just talking about the power and authority of God. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just think differently than most people.
Yeah, that's good.
I just think totally different than most people.
And it's good
because you act like.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, because if you even if in yourself you say, no, I'm not going to do that. Do you remember the story of Pharaoh? And he say, I ain't letting them people go. I don't care. They ain't going nowhere. They gonna stay here. They gonna be our slaves. And woo, 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 woo. And he just talking all that trash. And I mean, he talking in front of everybody. He telling everybody, hey, I ain't letting them go. I don't care what they say. I don't care what Moses said. I don't care. And shoot, God started letting all kinds of things happen. I mean, all kind of plagues, all kind. He was like, wait, one doggone minute. He said, get them people out of my country, out of our space, out of Egypt as quickly as possible. And then he just didn't kick them out. He said, and give them some stuff while we kicking them out. Let them while we kick. I'm just saying, guys, God's will, and if he wants something to happen, it will happen. Period, point blank.
Absolutely. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
Thank you, Cassandra. One thing that we can't be, and we keep trying to be, is God. Won't you get out of his way? And let him do what he do, because you're going to do it anyway. You in your own way, rather. Show enough ain't in his way, because you can't stop nothing. You can't make nothing happen, because we reminded that he's God. That's why he's God. Pharaoh said, I'm going to kill all of them children. Who was it, Herod? I'm gonna kill all them children. Keep happening over and over again. Haman, I'm gonna kill all them Jews.
Yep.
God keeps showing up even when his name's not called. That's why I like the book of Exodus. Because nobody called his name, but he show up. As people try to manipulate other folks, it's in the story.
Mm-hmm.
Haman hated them people. I don't
Come
even
on.
know why. Maybe because he should have killed all of his people, but he didn't. He was a survivor of evil.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at a man called Mordecai, and Mordecai said, "Man, look, get out of here with that stupid stuff. I ain't bowing down to nobody." He said, "Kill them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hang them on the gallows. Let Mordecai be first." But you don't have to call God's name for him to show up.
Come
We
on.
just need to get out of his way.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
And
Yes,
here
sir.
we are in this society. And I hear people all the time, and I don't want to just belittle what you're saying. We gods. No, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You sound like them Adam and Eve believers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That when the Satan said, "We'll be as God," that's our problem now. We want to know good and evil, and we wasn't intended to.
Mm-hmm.
You know too much. That's why we got some people that I probably call stupid.
Mm-hmm. Say probably.
Yeah, probably. Look at where we are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really. If we're not crazy as all get out, look at our political realm and look at our best choices.
Mm-hmm.
And if that ain't stupid, nothing else is.
Come on. Mo, talk to me, brother. Mo, you there? Oh, Mo, you done got quiet on me. Mo done got quiet on me over there. Let me see. Leonard, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
We covered the abortion thing pretty well as it relates to, you know, when going into argument and debate, it's good to know both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm still listening for a rational opinion
Mm-hmm.
to ban abortions, other than your religious preference.
Mm-hmm. And you think
Say that again, right?
you think that's pretty much all it is? What they're riding on?
Yeah, I mean that's the only one of the defenses, and then you have the defense that Mo brought up, but even that comes from a Judeo-Christian belief.
Mm-hmm.
So give me a rational reason why you think abortion should be banned outside of your religious preference.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is once again people trying to impose on you what they want. Think about your mother.
And
Think
then
about your sisters, your aunts.
let me ask you this, Leonard. A lot of time people talk about cruel and unusual punishment.
Mm-hmm.
To have to, and I'm reaching a little bit here, so work with me. Cruel and unusual punishment. If you're telling this young lady that she was raped, and but we got this thing, you can't have no abortion now. Now, you can't have no abortion. We know you was raped, but you got to carry that child. This state and the surrounding states do not. We have this law where you will not get an abortion. You will not be able to go and kill that child. You got to carry that child 9 months and take care of that child for 18 years. Though you was raped, you still got to do it.
And think about it. Women were doing it before there was law.
Yeah.
Go check your history.
But is that cruel and unusual punishment to subject her to something like that?
Well, I think it's cruel and unusual to subject anybody to it.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
That's one thing about it. When I tell you I am for freedom, I am for freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You bear the cost of it. You risking your body for it. How you live should be according to what you choose.
Mm-hmm.
And if it causes you suffering, then it is what you deserve. Because you chose this way. My man Tucson kind of hit on it.
Mm-hmm.
The knowledge of good and evil. Now you know. Do I do this or do I that? Do I do that? What could happen? All I know is I don't have to suffer because of that choice that an individual makes. I could care less whether either of you have children or not. That's your business. Why should you have to come and ask me whether or not you can have kids or not? Does that make sense to you?
None.
None. Think about that.
Hey, look at here, Leonard, man. Me and old girl going to go over here and do some adult activities, man.
Think about where your children would be, all you people that just love being everywhere, all over the place. If you was over in China just making babies as you saw fit. When you know they got a rule. How many you can have? I think they may have opened it up to what? How many? 2 now?
Yeah, it's 2. Yeah.
I think you can do 2. Yeah. Look, I don't know where they get 2.3. I don't know how that works. Yeah.
I'm just,
how does that work? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's 2.
Yeah, how that work out for you? So 1, I don't believe in forcing people into suffering. Suffering is the cause of what makes you detach from life.
Absolutely.
It's suffering. These are huge concepts in Buddhism, where suffering is what you want to avoid at all costs, to the point where it is because this world is such a place, you're not going to even make children. You're going to decide that you will not bring a child into such a cruel world. Think about that. You're just that considerate that you know the responsibilities and everything that comes with a child. And you know what's waiting for it right outside your front door.
Wow.
Why bring another child into death and poverty? But see, to some people, it makes you easier to manipulate when you're from a dysfunctional place.
Absolutely. Wow.
Hey, I'm here. I'm back, Raheem.
Okay, I was just going to come to you, brother. What do you think about that, man? Is it cruel and unusual punishment to tell a young lady that has been raped, molested, or incest that she have to carry that baby for 9 months and then give birth to that child? Because abortion is not legal in this state or the surrounding states. You cannot, and will not have an abortion. You got to carry that child. Is that cruel and unusual punishment?
Of course it is. Absolutely, of course it is. And Brother Leonard, you touched on suffering and Buddhism. Brother Leonard, you must have read Thich Nhat Hanh, The Dharma of Suffering, the Plum Village talks.
Can you hear him? Because we can't, Raheem.
Oh, yeah, I can hear him.
I can't hear him over here.
Can you hear me, Brother Leonard?
On the stream.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
He cannot hear you.
Okay. Well, Thich Nhat Hanh, a Buddhist monk, he died last year, age of like 97. But he talks about
YouTube. Maybe your YouTube listeners can hear him.
Yeah. He talked about suffering and how suffering brings a constant cycle of self-destruction. And when with the scenario that you put down and everything, that just brings constant suffering. And no one has to suffer. I mean, even constitutionally, as Americans, we have the right to liberty, justice, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You can pursue happiness, but there's no guarantee you're going to get it. So as long as you can pursue that happiness of life and of self and not suffer, it's important. So yeah, it's very unfair because once again, you're putting on religious morality issues, things of that nature in regards to a very personal thing, and you may not subscribe to that particular religion, that particular philosophy. How dare you say I have to do what your God says I'm supposed to do, and I don't even know who your God is, and guess what? I don't want to know who your God is, because what I see in the world today is like, if I was God, there wouldn't be this type of suffering. and I'm not saying that's how I am, but you have to remember that's how many people are. How dare you come into the life on this very personal decision as a woman that could kill me and will change my life forever.
Wow. And it will, at least for the next 18 or 20 something years, it's definitely going to change your life in one way or another, positive and or negative. Let me go to VP. Now, I think we have Friday. Friday, that's you or that VP. Which one? Who do we have?
Good morning, Friday.
Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Doing all right. How are you?
Hey, doing good. Got a question for you. Is it cruel and unusual punishment for a man to tell a young lady that she cannot have an abortion? That though she was raped, molestation, helping, or incest, she still have to carry that child for 9 months. Have to go through every time the child move or shake or do anything, it reminds her of how the child got there. But because of the fact that you can't have no abortion in this state or the surrounding states, is it cruel and unusual punishment to tell her that she have to carry that child?
Yes, it is. I don't know that any of the laws currently, even with the change in the Roe v. Wade, says in those specific circumstances stated that they cannot. I think those are the exceptions to the abortion law. But it is because now you're dealing with mental issues that could happen in that process. I do believe in preserving life. I do believe if there, any possibility to exercise therapy and adoption and things of that nature. But we see what the adoption pool looks like right now in terms of just the overflux of children that need homes. So to tell a woman that they cannot, especially in those circumstances, is quite extreme and not fair for her. I also would add to that there's people that take advantage of that, and then there are going to be some that says that these things happen to them in order to try to fit into those exceptions. And I would just, say woe to that. I don't know all of the different religions and the details thereof, but I'm not currently familiar with any that suggests that someone that has been raped and became pregnant by it endure that, or that they should be a liar, or that they should try to take advantage of another person, but those things happen. And so, yes, I think it's cruel and unusual punishment for a woman in those circumstances to be made to carry to term. But I also think at the same time, all efforts to support her so that child can live should be offered to her as well.
Wow.
Hey, Raheem.
Yes, sir.
Cassandra, I'll be over here in the corner when you get here. Now, I'm gonna put it in another way. White man, you gonna make your wife have my baby?
Wow.
Because she slipped off from you?
Can we slip away?
Now, don't act like we ain't got history.
Slip away, yeah.
When they bred us like cattle.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Let's not act as if we don't have the history behind forcing people to give birth. Who knows it better than African Americans? Forced and bred like animals. All the children that all those slave masters raped all those women and forced them to have those children. Don't act as if we don't have the history of taking advantage and abusing and subjecting people to this type of treatment before. Please call in if you like being treated like that. Please call in.
Wow.
Right,
Hold on, Cassandra, speak on that. I mean, that's deep. That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah. I see that this is why I feel like the systems in place are so hypocritical, because some things were and still is considered, okay per se, but then you want to make decisions for people. Historically, you have not made very good choices.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, to protect life. Let's just put it like that, to protect life. So, but you still want to keep making decisions that you feel like is best for me. I don't need you to make a decision that you feel is best for me. I can make my own decision.
Come on.
You understand? Whether you like it or not, I know you think I'm dumb and I'm just supposed to do what the master say. And I'm right now, I'm talking across the board, especially for women.
Mm-hmm.
We have not been allowed to make choices on our own about our lives for years. And that has been a worldwide problem. And in the U.S., we just recently, as far as I'm concerned, because if you're talking 100 years, gotten the right to certain, don't make no decisions for me. Let me make my own let me make my own doggone decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. But I think I got it. I can handle it myself.
There you go. Toussaint, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart? Mo, coming to you next.
I bet you one thing. If some, I ain't gonna call no kind of ethnic group, you get hooked up with that Mandingo warrior, I bet you want to abort that child.
You better tell it like it is.
You don't have to do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the man that they said his wife had that baby because she drank too much coffee.
Lord. I say this.
Don't drink black coffee. Don't drink black coffee if you're pregnant.
Don't do it.
Remember they used to tell us that she's gonna get dark if you drink that coffee.
Mm-hmm.
We got some fellas right now, and they know they ain't got no melanin in their body. But where that dark baby come from?
Mm-hmm.
Look at his ears. You always can tell a baby how dark they're gonna be. Look at their ears. Don't look at the complexion of them when they're first born. Check the ears out.
Mm.
And, so anyway.
Lord Jesus.
You know we can be nasty.
Nobody telling men what.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
As far as what choices you make, because you can lay down with somebody and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Why they don't make you take care of them children?
Exactly.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
How about that? You gonna stay there? Remember them shotgun weddings?
So am I hearing you say, Toussaint, that there's a double standard involved in this thing?
It is. I mean, it is. You gonna make a woman have a child from a man that can I say it like this? I don't think mama gonna get me. Too bad. Hit it and quit it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It happens every day.
Yes, sir.
But then the mama has to have after she has the child, she got to get 2-3 jobs to try to support the job, while the man goes scot free. You know, they put him on child support, but all that sucker does is quit his job. That makes absolutely no sense to me.
Come on.
And then there are some that they go to college. As long as they go to college, they don't have to pay child support. That makes absolutely no sense. You mean to tell me you can't? Time you get a job, the employer, he's gonna catch you, and they're gonna start garnishing your wages, and you quit. No, make them stay on that job. How about that? You don't have to like the job. Stay on it so you can support them children, and every dime is due.
Exactly.
Make them pay.
Exactly.
How about that? How about where the law is for that? But no, here's the stupidity. I'm gonna use halfway a big word today.
Come on, use
in the fact that a man has a child, he's on child support, but no, you know what you do, dummy? Take his driver's license.
Yep.
Now you can't get to the job. Now you catch him driving anyway, and you arrest him, put him in jail.
Yep.
Now you can't support the child, and you work for the state. Ain't that a form of slavery?
Yes, it is.
Ain't that stupid?
Yes, it is. Yes.
So really, it's all about the lawmaker that is actually the lawbreaker, so that you can just wad your pockets up with funds for one reason or another. We're in a mess, man.
Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Got to do my shout out. Good morning, Mama. I see you watching over there, Mama. I see you looking. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you dearly, baby. Thank you for watching. I definitely appreciate it. Mo, talk to me, brother.
Well, hey, Raheem, I need your singing chops right now.
What you got?
Okay. Do you remember the Stevie Wonder song "Part-Time Lover"?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Give me the melody a bit.
Man, I got to get that melody. Hold on, I don't want to mess the song up. I remember part-time
lover. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this whole thing is, think of part-time lover. I can't do wrong. I pray at night. Do wrong all day, but it's all right. I can't do no wrong because I'm a part-time Christian.
Oh.
So you got these part-time Christians
who
pray at night, do wrong all day.
Boy, you stepping on toes now, boy. You stepping on toes now.
That's why I did it. I have a whole thing, with that, because it came to me a couple of weeks ago. I hate all day, but I pray at night. I can do wrong, but it's all right because I'm saved by God. I'm a part-time Christian.
Wow.
So all of this, part-time Christians. You can even be a part-time Muslim.
Wow. Part-time. Friday. Is that the situation? Is that the issue? That we got the part-time Christians, part-time Muslims, part-time, whatever you are, part-time. And you're not fully committed to walking that walk. Is that a part of the issue? Friday?
I think that can definitely be part of the equation. But rather part-time, full-time most of the time, not none any other time. It just really comes down to individual people and their mindsets. We see that there are going to be people that do devious things regardless. And that's just part of the world we have to navigate. I also feel as though that for those that feel like just by word saying they accept Jesus and they check the box and like I'm good and I don't have to put anything else into practice, I would challenge to say that you are even saved, and therefore I'm not even holding you by the same standards because you're not even putting in the effort. So that tells me you really don't even believe in what you're saying. You just think that it's a thing to do, like get on social media and critique other people is a thing to do. So it could very well could be part of the problem, but it's not the problem.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Annie from Mississippi. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Great morning, God. Morning to everybody.
Good deal. And we're talking about abortion and how the certain individuals, I'm gonna say it that way, certain individuals think that they have the right to tell a young lady, even though she maybe been raped, molested, incest, or whatever it is, but they tell her that she don't have the right to get an abortion. This state or any of the surrounding states is illegal. So if you're pregnant, you have to carry that child for 9 months. I don't care about the child moving in your stomach or your belly or kicking and stuff like that. And every time they do so, it's going to remind you of how that child got there. You're going to have that baby, and you're going to raise that baby for 18 years. Is that cruel and unusual punishment to have her to do that, or to think that it's okay to tell her that she have to do that?
I think if a woman has been raped or, a child been molested and a pregnancy comes from that, I think that they do have the right, and they should have the right to terminate the pregnancy, because based upon how it happened, how the child was conceived, the child was forced upon them through rape, through sexual intercourse, through some type of molestation, and I do believe that they have the right to terminate the pregnancy, because it's only going to cause the woman, the mother, to feel some type of way about that child all their lives. There are women right now that have had babies that that came to rape and whatever the case may be, but they sometimes they go to resent that child, and it's not fair to the child, for them to have to go through that, not knowing it's not the child's fault. It's never the child's fault. But at the same time, if a woman wants to terminate a pregnancy, or a 12-year-old, 13-year-old that's been raped by the stepfather, raped by some family member, they should have the right to terminate by all means, because like I say, it's too much trauma behind that.
Yeah.
You can have the baby, you can smile at the baby, but in the back of your mind, there's a lot of anger there. Sometimes that's how the children end up being hurt, after they give birth to them. They, hurt them or doing little crazy things to the children because of the hate they have for the person that done this to them. So by all means, yes, if you're pregnant, I believe if you're pregnant and you came pregnant through molestation or rape, you should have that right to terminate that pregnancy.
Wow. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. And a lot of people feel that way, but a lot of times people also feel as though, that's murder. And like I said, I'm the question asked, so I got to talk on both sides of the coin. I think too that she should have that right. I'm not in the business of telling her that she cannot, if she so decide to do so. If that's where she is and that's what you want to do, I'm not gonna say that she should not have the right. Now, do I agree with abortion and all that stuff? I'm not gonna say that either. But at the same time, I'm not here to take anybody's rights away from them if that's what they want to do. Shanavia, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Oh, good morning. I'm good. How y'all doing this morning?
Hey, doing good. Cassandra, go ahead, Cassandra.
No, I wasn't. No, I was saying something else. I missed what was just said. I missed it.
Oh, okay. Now, Navy. Oh, there you go.
Hey, Navy.
See. I told her I knew she was gonna do it. I just had to wait. For it. But Navy, what did you say about that? And from the counselor standpoint, you and Cassandra are both counselors, and y'all probably deal with this or have dealt with this in the past. What do you say to that? Is that cruel and unusual punishment? This young lady was raped, molested, or incest in her family, but she's being told that she cannot have an abortion. Carry that baby for 9 months. The baby moved, the baby kick, and all this stuff, which is a reminder of how that baby got there. But you still have to carry that baby, give birth, and raise that baby for 18 years. That's what you have to, as a mother, that's what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is that cruel and unusual punishment?
So, disclaimer for any of the listeners just about to get a little uncomfortable. So you just want to put that disclaimer out there.
Okay.
So I'm going to answer this in two parts. First part is most of the people, and this may be a stretch, but I'm going to stretch it out there anyway. Most of the people that's coming up with these laws and this craziness and this madness has benefited from an abortion. The exact same ones that are making the laws have benefited from abortions. And now you want to tell women that, no, just because I'm going to pay you this little money to keep this child, to keep this loved child of mine and all of this good stuff. Like, no, it ain't too many people on Capitol Hill that ain't benefited from somebody having an abortion that resulted in a one-night stand or even worse,
college,
rape and
college,
what we're talking about right now. Now, the second part of that, let's take it from a very real standpoint. Because I don't know if these other people have been molested or raped, but I have, and it wasn't fun. So I'm 37 years old, and I'm still having to deal with the ramifications of what happened to me. So now you want me that's still trying to get me together, and I still have my moments, even as a therapist, to come in, bring to life, have to be reminded of that. And is it that baby's fault? Absolutely not. That child didn't ask to be here. That child had nothing to do with it. But your act and your deviousness is what put me in this position, because I don't know about anybody else, but my little person is still walking around here fancy free. So what's the consequence for him? But I have to sit here and give us, and it may be an exaggeration, but this is just how I feel. You asked my opinion. I have to go through a life sentence of a constant reminder of shame of what happened to me, and then becoming someone else to this person that is a product of that, but they didn't ask to be that. That baby didn't ask to be a product of that. So you want to put both of us, we both, me and this child, have to serve a life sentence because why mama don't love me? Why am I treated this way?
Yeah.
Why I gotta go through all of this? When mama's still trying to get herself together, but mama don't know how to communicate that to that baby. And the person that did is just, living their life, living their best life with no consequences. But we don't think about that whenever we put these idiotic laws in play. And most people that are making these laws, again, are only pro-life up until birth.
Yeah.
Because if you really, truly cared about the life of these children, why do we have so many in the foster care system that are homeless and that are repeating the same cycle that you're trying to? How many homeless children and runaway teens are being human trafficked, are being raped, are being molested, are being sold? But I don't see you making any laws about that. I don't see you trying to run to the rescue and create programs to help prevent that. Because y'all still benefiting from the same things that you're trying to make laws about. Yeah. It's hypocritical.
Exactly.
And it's trash. So I don't have anything professional. That's just all I got.
Okay. That's plenty. Cassandra, talk to me. Cassandra?
You said Cassandra?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Navy wholeheartedly.
No.
Unless I don't. Yeah. Yeah, but no. The psychological ramifications of forcing someone to do something. See. Everything goes back for me every time I hear some of this stuff. The people that are coming up with these laws, it just bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
You were the very ones you living off of what your great granddaddy did, enslaving people, and then you coming up here still trying to enslave people, telling them what to do. Be a good little slave. Follow what master says.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know you don't want to get in that field, but get on out there for master. Do it for God. You're doing it in the name of God.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, I'm going to help God because I'm going to make a law that you have no control over your body. I say, follow what master say. I say you should not have an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, the scenario rings out clearly in my head, and God knows I am not saying women just go out there and have abortions anytime you want to. You don't want a baby, just have no. But I like Navy, I've been raped, and I know that to this day something will trigger a thought of that rape. It may be a smell. It could be, listen, that stuff is traumatizing. Can you imagine bringing a child into the world? And there are women who did it, and they are amazing women. I give them kudos. I know several people right now that in my head, I can literally see them, that they went through that and they made it through it. But the trauma that it caused them has never been healed.
Mm-hmm.
The trauma has never been healed from it.
Wow.
Can it be done? Yes. Should it be done? No.
And how?
That's just my take on it.
And see, I'm going to go to Tucson, but a lot of time I'm hearing that the scars of these situations.
The trauma, yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I know. See, this is the thing. Most 90-something% of men will never know what it's like to be raped, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If you were ever raped, imagine having men, y'all can't even imagine this. Believe me. And y'all, I don't want y'all to have to imagine this.
Yeah.
Imagine having a baby planted in you by a violent means, right?
Mm.
And then you having to spend 9 months with this baby moving in your body that you never agreed to, wanted to, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then that child being born, and yes, you can give it up for adoption or whatever, but most people I know, they're not going to do the adoption thing. But imagine what that must be like. I'm going to repeat, most men can't even imagine in their deepest sensitive thoughts, imagine what that must be like.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Tucson, talk to me, brother. That's true.
So how does these men, politicians, come up with the authority to even feel like they have a dog in the hunt?
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly, I don't know if it's mostly men, but it's probably mostly men, and we said it, men that probably secretive, but because of their reputation, they try to uphold their reputation, secretly have aborted a child. And nobody knows it because the child's never come up. And I don't know. I just don't feel like I should be able to, even if it's my daughter or if it's my relative, make them do anything. We can't make people do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we had freedom of self-will. Even God give us that. So if we're going to make choices, let's just make the right one.
Yeah.
But some things come upon some people that they didn't ask for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tragic. And it's devastating. And it causes them mental I don't know, man. Can you imagine? You wake up and somebody is abusing you physically, mentally, emotionally, and well, let me throw this out here, and I hope I don't traumatize somebody's situation that has already happened. But here's the thing: here's a young lady. She's a college student, high school student. She's just thinking like, okay, I'm gonna go to the prom, or I'm gonna go to this party that I've been invited to, and all of a sudden, 5 young men have just come up and they just abuse her over and over and over again till she's a bloody mess.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of all of that, 3 shortly after, she comes out to the hospital, bloodied up and beaten up, and she comes out and she finds out that one of them, she don't know who it is. Matter of fact, let's throw this out here. One of them's the senator's son.
Wow.
And because of who they are, the boys, she goes through the court system to try to prove that she was raped, and they just call her a tramp. Now she still has to find out she's impregnated by one of them. Don't know who. Mm-hmm. You mean to tell me that you gonna put in something to make her have that baby? Does that make any sense?
No, none at all. None at all.
But it's not real life to people that don't have a dog in the hunt.
Wow. Anybody else have anything they want to say about this topic before we move on to our next topic?
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
You know, it's very ironic to me that Trump is the one that overturned Roe versus Wade, the law, when he is one of the people that forces himself on women. That he had the right. He's done this. He overturned this whole thing. That's crazy to me, because he's the kind of people that law was really put in place for, you know, and giving the women the right to have an abortion. So he goes in and they allow him to overturn it. And to me, that's crazy. It's backwards. I mean, he's one of the people that's I won't say racist, but he's been known to force himself on women and grab women, you know, because of who he is. And he is the very person that went in there and changed everything. So that makes no sense to me.
Wow. Facts. 508-924-3521. What do y'all think about that, man? He's the very one, that say that I could grab him by the cha-chas, and they like it. And all the other outlandish stuff that he says. Why would he be the one that want to break the board? Say it again.
I don't think he said cha-chas.
Yeah.
I personally don't know cha-cha.
I'm trying to clean it up a little bit. That's all.
It was not cha-cha.
No. It wasn't cha-cha. No, it was not. But you know, I'm trying to clean it up a little bit. I'm trying to be
you know, with your accent, it sounds like something you put on greens. I didn't know.
It might. Boy, y'all won't make me say something. Oh boy, y'all almost pulled it out by that time, mama. But anyway, I want to switch up a little bit, Leonard, and I'm gonna ask you this question, because a lot of times people get into situations where they hang on to some things, hang on to the hurt, the pain, and the suffering that they had in their life. So if somebody were to say this to you, Leonard, what would it mean to you? Don't tell me how you failed. Tell me how you got up.
I think all of it is appropriate. If it's part of your story, it's your story. But I rather hear somebody who has overcome.
Exactly.
It's the overcoming that's the motivator. It's the overcoming that gives people hope for another day.
Yeah.
It's the overcoming that makes people not want to get in a situation where they're putting people in the same situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a little bit of both, because I'm not the type of person to take someone's story from them, because that's your story.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if you're looking for help, you have to understand that that's part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
Letting it go.
Yeah.
It should not be keeping you from living happily. It should not be keeping you from moving forward and accomplishing what it is you really desire in your heart to do. You can imagine your way sometimes out of suffering.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
This is why meditation and things of that nature are so important, despite the fact that you have problems and issues. They should not be priorities.
Yeah.
They should not be at the front and primary in your life,
Mm-hmm.
because they will detract from you. You know that they are negative.
Mm-hmm.
From the outside, people know that it's negative. So once you have the information for yourself and you feel it being negative, why won't you let it go?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very hard concept for some people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But keep living. You have to live a long time sometimes. Why live with something that happened when you were 10?
Exactly.
And you still allow it to shackle you at 40,
mm-hmm.
50.
Mm-hmm.
So I am not a person to make the decision on whether or not you should, because I believe everyone should. I should. You
Mm-hmm.
should. I wouldn't wish nothing on you. I wouldn't wish for myself.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm sure I've had terrible days,
Mm-hmm.
but they are not to be remembered.
508-924-3521. Phone lines are open. Give us a call. And I want to let you know that if you're listening to us or watching us on any other platforms, one of the best platforms I feel is to go to dkmmediagroup.com. Go to dkmmediagroup.com and click on the watch live tab, and that'll take you right here. So if Facebook shut us down, YouTube or TikTok or any of those shut us down for whatever reason, we still have a source. So I want everybody to get used to going to dkmmediagroup.com and listen to it. Watch it live right there. Watch it live right there. That's going to, you ain't got to worry about the interruptions. You ain't got to worry about none of that stuff. It's going to be live right there on dkmmediagroup.com. So make sure if you can go there. Shanavia. Navy.
Huh? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everybody got a story to tell. Everybody has gone through issues and situations in their life. If somebody were to say to you, don't tell me how you fail, tell me how you got up, what would that mean to you? And Mississippi, come to you next.
Don't tell me how you feel, tell me how you got up. Well, I think those stories are important, because you can learn something from our falling.
Mm-hmm.
To not make the same mistake that I did. I think whenever you said the question, it reminded me of a story that I was telling my sister, child, about dating, and some of the mistakes that I made. Mm-hmm. But who she saw me as and where she seen me come from, like, yes, I gave her the backstory as to what I did, hoping that she wouldn't make some of the same mistakes. But hey, this is how I got over it. And whenever you're going through that situation, you have a reference to come back to. I can help guide you through that. It's the same thing with therapy, or at least the way that I look at it. Sometimes in order to understand where we're going, we got to understand where we came from, not to hold on to it and not to wear it as a scarlet letter and not to have that become part of our personality, because I think that's what a lot of us do, because we don't know how to process what has happened. But I think that the falling is just as important as the getting up, because people who like finished products, we like to know the end game, but there's a process as to how I got from A to Z. There's a lot of letters in between in between A and Z. And that's not, like I said, that's not to keep yourself in a place of, what's the word, victimization maybe? I'll find a better word later, but I'm gonna stick with that one for right now. It's not to keep you down.
Yes.
Is to give someone else a reference of what I did, how I messed up, so you won't have to make those same mistakes. I've already done it for you.
That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. We're asking a question. We're making a comment. Don't tell me how you fail. Don't tell me how you fell on the ground. Don't tell me how you fell. Tell me how you got up. What does that mean to you? And from Mississippi, what does that mean to you? Don't tell me about how you fell. I know how you fell, but tell me how you got up. How you dust yourself off. How did you get to where you are right now?
Oh man, when I tell my testimony, Raheem, I just throw in a little bit of everything. And I have a tendency of letting people know what caused me to fall and how people who I thought was going to be there for me, was my ride or die per se, was going to be there, to lift me up, how I found myself having to dig deep within and, while wallowing on the ground, while wallowing in my fall, in my downfall, making a decision to that I'm not going to be here and I don't have to be here anymore. And making the conscious decision to say, you know what, I'm going to dig within and I'm going to pull myself up by my bootstraps because there's no one else out there that's going to help me. So I had to dig within and, and just take a different look at it from a different standpoint and make up my mind that I'm not going to be here anymore. I don't have to be anymore. So that's when I began to crawl out of this hole, the dark places out there I was in, but it was not an easy thing to do. And, but it's something that needed to be done. And if I didn't do it for myself, no one was going to do it. So when I tell people about how I feel, how I went through a dark place, in a dark space, in a dark time, I let them know that, it was by the grace of God that I'm here, that I came out of that era. I'm standing today. God took me higher than I was before I fell in the first place. So, I just tell all of that. I feel a little bit of everything in here.
Wow. 508-924-3521, man. That's powerful. Don't tell me how you failed. Though that is a part of your of who you are, but don't tell me how you failed. Tell me how you got up. Tell me how you got to where you are right now. How did you overcome? I see victory on you right now. But a lot of times people, Cassandra, a lot of times what happens is people want to wear your shoes today when they didn't want to even what's the word I'm looking at? Didn't want to be a part of your yesterday. Didn't want to be a part of you. Yes.
Before you move to Cassandra, I just want to say this right here. That the most hurtful part of my fall was the ones who were in the cheering section. I mean, I had people that were cheering that were even in my own family, even in my own circle. That was the most hurtful part of being in a pit. And when I saw who was in there, who was in the cheering section, that made me even go even harder. That made me go even harder to get myself out of the hole, because being there is one thing, but knowing the ones that's happy about it, that's a whole new set of problems right there. That was a miserable feeling right there. Because I'm thinking that you should be praying me through the storm. You should be, encouraging me. When you get no encouragement from people that you thought love you,
yes,
that's very hurtful. That was a hurtful place in my life, and that's when I just made the decision that it's just me and God.
Yes.
And I'm like, God, if you don't get me out of here, I'm going to stay here because I need you like never before. So that was the most hurtful part of being in a pit, was knowing who was out there that was clapping and happy that I was there.
Wow. Cassandra, talk to me. And that's the hurtful part, because I call on my brother just for a little help, and my brother knocked me down to my knees. That's from a song. This lyrics from a song. Y'all know that song. Old school. Cassandra, talk to me.
Yeah, yeah. My story would sound a lot like Annie's. When I was in my pit of despair, and boy, when you first announced this, I started singing in my spirit. I started singing, "My soul looks back and wonder how I got over."
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. How I got over.
Sing it, Cassandra.
Over.
Oh,
my soul looks back and wonder how I got over. Man, that song right there, that thing is real, because sometimes you're in such a pit that you have no idea if it was not for God.
Come on.
Had it not been for God on my side, where would I be? I'm telling you, I would not have survived. And I'm talking about, and can I just be like real open with it?
Come on.
I'm talking about before I even knew God, the stuff that the devil was trying to use to kill me, rape, molestation, abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. This is stuff even before I got saved. And God, I know to this day right now, in my heart of hearts, that God was shielding me and keeping me from falling forever into the abyss, forever. Because that's how traumatizing some of it was. But I kept hearing, I remember when I was 13 years old and I was on antidepressants at 13 because I was suicidal. I remember that day I was walking down the street with my bottle of pills, antidepressants, taking it to the clinic that I was going to, right? And I hear a voice like somebody walking next to me saying, "Throw those pills in the drain." And I was like, what? And I'm looking around because who's talking to me? Because I ain't know nothing. I ain't saved, nothing. And I kept walking, and then I heard again, "Throw those pills in the drain and never take another one in your life." And I knew, I didn't know, but I knew. I'm gonna say that again. I didn't know, but I knew that it was something bigger than me.
Come on.
It was the Spirit of God saving my life, so that I would later have the ministry that I have, where helping people to know that they can survive anything if they trust God. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care how foul it looks. You can come through anything if you just trust God.
Come on. Man, I got to get a number one more time, man. Yeah, 508-924-3521. I got to get that number one more time, man. Y'all call in and talk to us. Don't tell us how you fail, but tell us how you got up. Tell us how you was down on the bottom of the pit. You were down in the bottom of the pit, and there was this loving hand that reached down for you. You grabbed that hand and it pulled you up, dust you off, and tell you to go that way. Go that way. You never been that way in your life. Never thought about going that way. But once you did, oh glory, once you did. Toussaint, talk to me, brother.
Raheem.
This is my confession. Go ahead.
I'm not up yet.
This is my confession.
No, you started it. You're going to make me real upset. Because, I mean, the joke can clown a lot, and sometimes it seems like I talk from a place. I don't know what you want to call it. But I ain't got up yet, Raheem.
Wow.
Whatever place you're talking from, I'm still trying to get up from there. You don't even get it. I mean, I'm not saying you don't get it, but that help that you talk about, I ain't getting it. every time I turn around from the place that I'm trying to get from, somebody else I find along the way that's going through the same kind of mess that I still hadn't recovered from.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know the truth,
Yes, sir.
I'm still in the hole.
Mm. Mm.
The truth be told.
Tell the truth. Tell the
With all
truth.
my sarcastic and funny and all that joking and clowning, I laugh to keep from crying.
Mm.
That's the truth.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell it.
Because you reach out again and again and again, and you think the people that's supposed to be helping you, God darn it, you got your foot on me too.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
As I'm trying to get up,
Mm.
and I ain't got up yet. And that's the sad part, because now I have to relieve myself from desire to get some help, because everybody wants help for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to, me and God, thank you, Lord. Thank you for your spirit, the little spirit that I might think I have. I'm trying to hold on to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody's trying to drain me of that.
Come on.
It's kind of like, give me of your all. If mom wasn't on the phone, I'd say, hell no, you can't get none.
You would say that, wouldn't you? If she went on the phone, you would say you would.
I would. I mean, this is, I say things like that because the truth of the matter, it gets frustrating when we live in this, we have this facade, like we got it all together, but you still in that hole, in that place that you continuously try to get out of, but you get halfway up and you find somebody along the way that got the same struggle, or worse struggle than you, and then you got to push from the bottom, dragging folks along. That's imposed just like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I don't like big people. That's why I don't like pride. I don't like arrogance. I don't like people that run their mouth about them. I don't care for you. I tolerate you, but I don't appreciate you at all.
Yeah.
Because you have no clue of how the struggle is to just get up. And once you think you got up, God darn it, back down there again. With a smile. Because some kind of way, the only thing that holds us together is, I didn't write it, but it says all things work together for the good. Well, I'm trying to get the good out of it. Some kind of way.
Come on.
Well, I have some good days every once in a while. But the truth of the matter is, I go back and I have to start from the beginning, doggone it, all over again.
Wow. Wow.
And nobody knows. And when the truth be told, and it's not, don't pity me. The devil is a lie. Because I work from within. That's why I work from within. Because really, I can't tell you. I'm taking it to the grave, my sorrows. Because if you had a hand in it, you wouldn't even want to help anyway. Because you're all about you. I'm not talking about anybody but particular. I'm just talking about the society that we live in, so selfish that when people find themselves in holes, when truth be told, nobody really cares.
Yeah. Wow. And that's truth. Leonard, is some truth in that?
Well, first of all, let me say, when you first went to this subject, my heart goes out to folks that be in y'all circle that feel this way about y'all. Because you place your love, you place your trust in folks, and you realize folks will let you down. Sometimes not because they want to, they simply just don't meet the standard. And I can look the other way sometimes. I hear people talking about, well, my first thing is, why? Why are you around people that don't want you to succeed? Why are you associating with people that don't want to see you blessed and doing better?
But see, a lot of times, Leonard, and I think what was said here too, a lot of times is you don't know that until situations happen. Because like what Annie was saying, she, it was like family members, friends, and family members that was real close to her, and she didn't realize, and Toussaint said as well, that look around and your foot on my neck too. And they didn't know. They didn't know that these people were these people until they found themselves in that situation.
Like I said, I don't claim myself to be too much smarter than nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
But I know when somebody don't mean me no good. I listen to everything you say and everything you do around me.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, get to acting funny. I'm gonna start acting funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people say I feel, oh yeah, I can feel it. I'll let you know. I've had folks I've warned ahead of time. Don't allow this to interfere with what we trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, I ain't lived this long not to know no better. So me and you don't fall out down the road. I'm gonna let you know this. Don't allow that spirit that I've seen rise up in others rise up in vanity against me.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can take that how you want, but trust me, it won't be no surprise.
Mm-hmm.
What's gonna happen is you're gonna realize that if I knew there's something in me greater, there's something in you greater, and if you tap into it, it'll teach you how to abstain from the appearance of evil.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we let too much go. And then you get further, you get to walking further down the road, and then you say, oh, now this happened. But that folks told you all along. Matter of fact, they told you how they treated other people. You watch them treat other people the same way they treating you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've been around them. You know how they are. Why you still walking with them?
Yeah. Yeah.
But all the wrong that they do, you
Mm-hmm.
still walking with them though. But now you surprised that
well,
they
Leonard,
you.
Well, yeah. I saw what you did. I saw what you did to Johnny, Paul, and Peter over there. But man, you close in that, man. I know you would never treat me like that.
See, that's just like that joker that I don't know how many groups of friends, but I can talk about men.
Mm-hmm.
Ever got that friend that always seemed to get somehow mixed up with your ex-girlfriend?
No.
Not only you, he don't only do it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Another friend in the group he do it to. And another one he do it to. Then you quit looking the other way. That's who that guy is.
Mm-hmm.
And now you wondering why he don't hurt your feelings. Because that's the type of person he is.
Yep. Exactly.
Judge who you keep around you and who you trust. Don't just cause a man tell you look nice, don't mean he love you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mean he gonna love you. He just like the way you look.
Don't mean he ever gonna have any love for you. Let's keep this thing going. Let me go to who again. Friday. Good morning again. Welcome back, Friday. You there?
I'm here. I'm back. Thanks.
Good day. Friday, we saying people go through so much in their lives. People go through so much, but in trial, tribulation, all that. But what we're talking about right now is don't tell me how you fell. Don't tell me how you fell on the ground. Tell me how you got up. Because I'm looking at you right now. You look very successful. So how did you get here? How did you get to this? I don't want to hear about how you fail. That's another story. Tell me how you got up. Tell me how you persevered and got to the place of success that you have right now. What do you say to that?
You're not ready for it. If you only focus if you don't want to know the how, because I can tell you all day, but then once you start encountering certain things in your pursuit of what I have accomplished, you're not going to be able to navigate it as well, because some of those telltale signs of what could be avoided to get you there faster. Because my goal, if I'm sharing this with you, isn't for you to suffer the way I suffered to get to where I am. So it's kind of like in school, you had the answers in the back of the book to cross-reference your efforts, but a lot of times you just put in the answer, and then when it's time for that test, you're trying to figure out how to navigate the equation. How do I work the problem? Is there more than one step? Because I might have to convert I may have to convert centimeters to meters to put it into the right equation, if that's what Newton law says. You know, and so you need to know the how. So if you're not interested in the how, then to me, that tells me you're not really interested in being successful for yourself. You just want what I got. And I think that there's actually I'm not sure if it's just a straight conversation or a parable where it's stated, this dialogue occurs where it's like you just coming because I'm feeding you. You're not trying to figure out how to put this recipe together for yourself.
Wow.
So whereas I you know, so then it becomes a question for me. And knowing that, am I willing to just give it to you because there's no loss to me, and watch you possibly hit roadblocks because you're going to come back. Because you're going to be like, it ain't work for me. You don't know what you're talking about. You set me up. No, you didn't want to know the how. You didn't want to hear the things that you actually need to avoid. You just wanted the success story and what looked like success, or what I may be currently still dealing with in the light of what you consider to be successful. So are you really interested in operating on this level? Because the challenges doesn't change. I was actually just talking to my sister just now. She put in for a promotion packet, and the lady, or the position that she had to go through higher than her, is a lady that if she gets the promotion, they would be equals, but didn't really afford her proper time in the process to review her packet. So, you know, she's like, what, 3:30, I'm out of here. But she doesn't even talk to who she needs to talk to first to get to her until 2:30. So now so what you may look at and see as successful, there's a lot that's happening and consistently happening to maintain it and to continue to move forward. So that's what's on my heart.
Good deal. Good deal. Annie from Mississippi, talk to me, sis. Annie?
Okay, I'm sorry. I had my phone on mute. Yeah, I totally agree with everything she just said, and I was just thinking about Joseph. When Joseph in the Bible, when Joseph was put in that pit, didn't no stranger put him there. These were people that was in his bloodline, and you know, a lot of times God will show you who's in your circle. And by you being someone who loves the Lord, you don't want to see what you see. But one thing God does, God reveals. So whenever God begins to show people, especially me, you know, when God shows me people, I don't want to see that side of people. I want to see them the way that I want them to be. You know, and not for who they really are. But God has always revealed, you know, giving me that discerning spirit concerning people, you know, and like I say, I don't want to see it. So whenever I went through a rough patch in my life, everything God showed me, you know, these people are not for you. God showed me so many times, these are not, even though they have your same last name,
come on,
you know, that don't mean that they are for you. And we got to understand that, because we serve in two different gods. You know, I serve the true and living God. I gave my life to God a long time ago. And there are people around you, even family members, who don't know God. And I used to ask God, why do people do what they do? And the Lord told me, he said, unsaved people do what unsaved people do. Why are you surprised when children of Satan act like their father? So it doesn't matter if they're in the bloodline or in the circle or whatever, you know, God reveals to you. He shows you who's in your corner. And sometimes he'll let some things come your way. Excuse me. Let things come your way to show you. These people want to put their foot on your neck. They want to keep you in this dark place.
Yeah.
And I know where I were, it was a very dark place. I didn't have no one on my side but God.
Wow.
I mean, that old saying, but God.
Yeah.
I had nobody to bring me up or to lift me up but God. And I began to read my Bible, and I would begin to pray, and I would begin to pray. And the enemy come in my ear. Why are you praying? Don't you see God have forgotten about you? Why are you praying? You know, constantly in my ear trying to tell me, you know, not to even pray to God anymore, but I continue to pray and I continue to trust God. But like I said before, when a person is going through, if you are in that corner, pray them out, you know, help them out. And because I know the hurtful part for me was who was in the cheering section. That was the hurtful part for me. That was heartbreaking. Had God shown me their heart before? He had. Did I listen to him? I didn't. I did not. I called them friends. So right now, Raheem, I be very careful who I use the word friend with, because friend is not just a word. Friend means when you're down, when you're up, when you got money, when you're broke, when you're sick, when you're well, I'll be there for you.
Yes.
Friend is the person that can pray you out of the pit, that will hold your hand while you're in the pit. And I pick up the pom-poms inside cheering.
Wow. Toussaint, talk to me, man. Over there cheering for your demise. Friends and families cheering for your demise.
It's okay. It's okay. I haven't got to the point that it's okay. It's all right. Because I don't look for help. I don't look for you to sympathize. I don't do none of that. I got my help, and last I checked, all my help comes from Him, the Creator of the heaven and the earth. That's just me talking, because that's how I feel. Because if you depend on, you have confidence in man, you're looking for a downfall. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I work, and I'm not trying to say that there are not people that's going to help along the way in some kind of way, but they can't do nothing. They're limited. Man is limited. It's okay. And ditch diggers come and go. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, I'm numb to it, because if I fall, I'm gonna get back up. If I fall again, I'm gonna get back up.
Yes.
Despite the naysayers, it is what it is. I ain't studying them.
Yeah.
I don't worry about talk, and I listen to people. If you ever need, I'm okay. Yeah, all right. I hear you talking. But there are some things that even if I was to reach out for help, I have to let you know some things, and that's gonna make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you're gonna back out, gonna back up like a crawfish. So I listen to you, I hear you. If you ever need something, oh, okay, all right, oh man, I appreciate that, and I keep it moving. I have to, because the last thing that I want to do is have another, I almost want to say Negro, but it can be of any ethnic group, tell me that, if it wasn't for my help, you never would have gotten all the devil is a lie. You'll never be able to say that. So I'm gonna come to that closed door, and I'm gonna keep on knocking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come to that place where you have set that barrier. Whoever that person is, that situation, that circumstance, have set that barrier. We got one adversary, that's the enemy. He's that one. Some people here have teamed up with the devil.
Yeah.
And they don't even, it seems like they don't even know it. You're a schemer, a plotter, and a planner, a ditch digger, a coat holder, and a rock thrower. And you don't even know it.
Exactly.
And you're doing it in the name of the Lord, and you make me sick.
Wow. I want to do this, right?
How about that for what's on my heart?
Come on. That's plenty, brother. That's plenty. I want to do this right here while I have a moment. And we got quite a few people that's listening. So hopefully all the ones that I'm speaking to are actually listening right now. Thank you. Each and every one of you that helped and assisted in what we did yesterday. Saturday. Saturday. When was yesterday? Thank you. Thank you. We had the trip to Six Flags. If you saw the video, the kids was high and a happy, elephant and lady, and porcupine proud to be there. It was a great day. It was a great day. Everybody had a good time, man. We wore them out. It was hot. It was hot. It was very hot. But at the same time, man, them kids got out there when they pulled up, they had a great time, man. Just seeing everything, they were so excited. And it made it all worth it, man. We went in, they had a great time, fed them a good meal, and they enjoyed it, man. And so I could not have done it. We could not have done it without a lot of the help and support financially, physically, and for the people that came together to make this thing happen. We did it, y'all. Congratulations and thank you. And thank you. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Thinking about the comment my man Toussaint made, how it relates to like what I do with folks and leadership styles, because of course Donald is a pastor, that's it. And so there's ways you have to think about who you are and what you're trying to build and what you're trying to create. And you just don't give that away to everybody. You don't allow everybody to get in, because they can sometimes mess up your whole foundation and all types of things. I like the way Miss Annie came back to say, there was many times I asked God to show me, he showed me, and I still chose the opposite. God is always there for you, especially when you saved. Ask. Like I always tell them, knowing better don't mean you do better, really. You got to do something.
Exactly.
Let's see what you do now that you know better. So I always say I trust God, and I trust people to be people. It saves me on a lot of disappointments. It keeps me from just failing when it comes to work. Because I used to always, the difference when you own the team and then being in charge of the team. Any of you ever been in charge of the team? Not everything these people do reflects on you. So you have to meet things a certain way, even when you got rough customers, some little rough ends on folks. I say, if you're willing to walk with me long enough, we take care of them rough ends. You may not know. Now people say, I got to know it before I probably can't work with you, because one thing you don't do is follow directions. Now the rest of the class is going to move all this far forward while you still back there talking about, I don't understand it all. Well, don't nobody understand it all. I'm teaching it. I don't understand it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you come with us instead of being against us? I can deal with you with us, but I can't against us. What the folks come back tell Jesus? Well, John this and John. Well, what is they saying? Oh, they saying the same thing I'm saying. So what's your problem? What's your problem? You have to understand, you're not going to like everything. Like I said, I don't always agree with what God says. I don't like it sometimes. But I know God means it for my good. I trust God that much that I believe that whatever he directs me to is for my good. I've called on him too many times from the pit to not believe him when I'm out. So if God has helped you, why wouldn't I believe him? I tell somebody else, you know what? I would believe you more if every time I needed something, you was there for me. I'd believe in you more. But like you said, Raheem, till I call.
Yeah.
Yeah, you there when I don't need, but let me need something and I call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you offering me all this when I don't, when you know I don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let me need it and call you. Well, you know, blah blah. Okay, don't even worry about it. Thank
I
God.
would do it, but
God will
you
provide
know,
another way. Trust me.
yeah, yeah.
I live this life. People ask me all the time, well, what do you do? I do what I want to do, and God takes care of the rest.
Mm-hmm. Leonard, what if you went to someone and I'm just throwing a number out there. Say, I need 20. I need $20, man. I need $20 to, I'm $20 short on blah 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 blah. And they say to you, one person say to you, man, I will give it to you, man, but it's just not a good day for me, blah blah. And the next person, you go to the next person, they say, man, listen, I don't have 20, man, but I got $5, man. It's my last five, but here, you're more than welcome to it. How do you receive both those people moving forward?
I appreciate it either way.
Mm-hmm.
If you got good, if you know how, even in church, and you do an offertory prayer, you thank God for those who wanted to give but had not.
Yeah, yeah.
The fact that you want to help is enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. Here you need some help. And somebody, you need 20, but somebody offered you 5, but you talking about you get some kind of way you don't take the 5. That's a little strange to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're the one that needs.
Mm-hmm. Say it.
So I tell people, I've helped people, and people, I'm gonna pay you back, Mr. John, I'm gonna do this. Don't do what you can.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look for you. Don't see me in the street, Raheem.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't know you when you came with your problem. You knew I didn't know you anyway. I didn't care about what you had done before and none of that.
Mm-hmm.
If you be a time you tell me that they're gonna cut my lights off, and if I got it, I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll pay you back when I say okay. Sometimes I see you don't even speak. Every time you see me, don't worry about it. I wouldn't have gave it to you if I didn't have it to give. I think
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it back to you if you see me before I see you.
Stuff like that. And it's a way of living that relieves you of some unnecessary suffering.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to pull every. I used to have this one brother. I used to have to tell him, everybody ain't your friend.
Yeah, yeah.
You know how it's that guy moving somewhere, and next thing you know, 4 and 5 people by the end of the week over at the house standing in the driveway drinking a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Because he everybody. He want everybody to be his friend. Now all y'all sitting in jail.
Yep.
Everybody not your friend just because they have a bill with you. Because test these people you call friend.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal.
Like I was like with Miss Andy say, she real careful now about who she calls friend.
Exactly. Exactly. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra? I remember when we used to play shoot 'em up, bang, bang, baby. Cassandra, you there? Tucson, talk to me, brother.
For some reason, I thought about I can't call his name. I think it starts with a B. The one that had to fight a war, and he had 32,000 or something like that number. And then he looked around the crowd, and God looked at him and he said, "Look, some of them scared. Send them home. Send them home first."
Mm-hmm.
And then the other ones just wasn't watchful. Send them home too. Take them out of the book and test them out. Some people get by the brook and they just looking at what they got going on. Open up war.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they do good for them. That's right. The truth be told, that's all they good for. It kept you dry too. But there are 300 that's prepared. So what does that mean? That means that everybody ain't gonna be for you.
Come on.
Some people back out on you. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, if we do it our way, we'll say we get the credit. We'll take the credit for ourselves. So God said, well, you know what? I'll leave you all by yourself till you get to the point that you rely on me.
Yes.
You figure it out then.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm your present help, like I said I will. I'm the one that will never leave you. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be that friend that sticks closer than a brother. And I got some close brothers. Well, we may not agree, but even in that, brother, I might as well tell you, sometimes they got their own thing going on. So they ain't bother to come. They might help, they might not. But then if and I'm saying like this, if sometimes God will allow you to be by yourself so that you can realize, you really can depend on Him. We're looking for everybody else to help Him, help us. But what about Him?
Yeah.
This society has gone mad by self-gain, self-will, their own desires. And God says, I'm going to let you go so far till you learn that I'm the one that you're going to have to depend on when the end of the day comes. And we have been talking about some things with our politicians and all these devices. Even sometimes your church will let you down.
Come on.
Some church folks. I don't mean to talk bad about them, but some of them Negroes is crazy. I almost said something right here, but that would be kind of ugly.
Well, look, let
show them I bet that I said that because Mama listening. But if Mama wasn't listening, the nicest way, Leonard, I could say is I wouldn't pee on them if they was on fire.
Good Lord. Good. Cassandra, are you back with us? Cassandra, are you back? Cassandra may have to step away for a second. Okay, Leonard. Now he said he wouldn't pee on them if they was on fire. That's serious there. That's serious.
Tucson know I love that one right there. He know I use that one quite regularly. Because that's just well, let me tell you, it's so much mess in this world. I don't need not one more. I don't need not. I ain't but 53 now. But I was like this long time ago. It kept me out of so much trouble, young people. You see how they look out there doing what they doing? Do you want people to look at you like that? Then don't be out there doing that.
Exactly.
Well, me and some of the guys, we gonna go but what y'all going to do? Well, we don't know. We don't go. Okay, so who driving? Well, we gonna see if so when y'all coming back? Well, whenever we get okay, that's all right then.
Yeah.
You don't know enough for me to be going nowhere with you. If you don't know where you're going, what I look like going with you for?
Exactly.
Come on now. It ain't that hard.
Where we going?
Well, let me tell you, trouble don't sneak up on you.
Yep. Nope.
Trouble don't sneak up on you now. Trouble make plans. Trouble sets you up for the kill. You understand? That's why you don't need to know. You just come. Don't even. What you mean? What is it? What them pills? Man, just take them. What you just take them? To take the pills?
No, man.
I don't even know what kind of pills they are.
Exactly.
Now all of a sudden you calling your girlfriend because you woke up somewhere and didn't know where you was at. But the night before, y'all was right there. We don't know what might happen. We ain't gonna know what's going on. But you take them pills and you take your pills with your friend. Now they all made it home. You didn't. Because you was trying to fit in. I'm so used to being weird and not fitting in. I play so well by myself.
Amen.
If I'm the only one, my mother used to say, I don't care if all them other monkeys going that way. Don't be that monkey following them. So I had to learn how to be comfortable in my own skin and by myself. because I couldn't trust too many people. I got the same friends I had when I was a little boy. We still talk and get together regularly and do things with one another because we've built that friendship. And I've met some people along the way that I knew when they shook my hand, they wasn't for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Because they didn't align with nothing that I was aligned with. And I feel sorry, and I pray for people that need a friend so bad, they'll take a bad one. That's sad to me. That you would rather befriend a bad person just to say you with somebody. Women, you with a man that treats you terrible, but you just want one so bad you'll be with anybody like that. Somebody treats you bad. You ain't got to say but 2 or 3 things to me. I don't like it. I may not ever speak to you again.
Yep.
Plain and simple as that. Not that I don't like, just not for me.
Exactly. Exactly. Cassandra, talk to me. Cassandra, I'm gonna say,
I'm here.
Okay, there you go. I'm gonna say, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. What's on your heart, Cassandra? Talk to me, man. It's a lot tied up into this topic right here, man. We are closing up. We got about 10 or 15 more minutes before we get out of here. So what's on your heart?
Well, tell me what part we're on now, because I have to get off of the phone on an emergency call. So
you know what we're gonna do? The day is Wednesday, so I'm gonna ask you a question, Cassandra. What you want to talk about?
Okay. Well, I need a statement. And this is for no, this is for a lot of people. I think right now there is a spiritual warfare going on that a lot of people. And please, for those that you don't believe in this, it may be a little difficult, but there is like a spiritual warfare going on for a lot of people right now, and people are going through things that they never thought they'd go through, and they're struggling with it. I'm talking seasoned saints. I'm talking people that have been with the Lord for years, that have fellowship and relationship with God, are going through things that they never thought that they would go through, and they're not doing as well with it as they normally would, because I want people to understand, because of the times that we're in the dispensation of time biblically, there are things happening in the spirit realm that we don't understand, but we know something is about to happen. And that's pretty much most of the people that I talk to that are Christians right now. They're saying the same thing. I sense something is happening. I don't fully understand what it is. I can't explain it, but things are different. I'm feeling stuff. And, the warfare is real. I have never in all my years being on this earth seen so many Christians, and everybody, but Christians especially, mental illness. Cancer, you name the things that, people say, well, if you trust God, you ain't go. That's a lie, because I have 3 autoimmune diseases, 3 of them, serious ones, and I'm dealing with melanoma cancer. But even in the midst of all of that, I know that God is doing something. God is moving. It is something happening in the atmosphere that even though I'm going through what I'm going through, I still trust God. This is what I'm saying. For those that are struggling, just hold on. I don't care if it's by a thread, a thin little piece of thread. Hold on to your faith. Trust God through this process, because this too shall pass. Yes, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't look good, but God. That's what you have to say. Yeah, this is crazy. That's crazy, but God. And if we can do that through this season, we're going to come out as pure gold. That's what the word says. That ain't me. That ain't Cassandra. I didn't make that up. That's in the Bible. When we have come through what we're going through right now, we're going to come out as pure gold, and we're going to look back. And that the song I said earlier, how we got over, but we know how we got over is by the grace and mercy of God. I just wanted to share that.
Absolutely. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? What you want to talk about today? That's powerful, Cassandra, and thank you for that. Thank you. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
You talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
There are some times in history, throughout history, that God get tired of us. And ain't nobody gonna do nothing but him.
Yeah.
Because we have gotten to the point that we rely on each other. And we all in a bucket. And none of us have figured it out because you ain't that smart. I kind of almost thought when Cassandra was thinking, have we been brought back to the Eden situation? I know some people don't believe that. Well, let me take it somewhere else. Well, have we gone back to Egypt? Right back into that slave mentality that we'd rather talk about watermelons, cucumbers, and grapes, bragging on what the master do for us, or what he can do for us. And God's like, got echo now. And God is like, you done forgot about me again.
Wow.
You done done it again. Why y'all keep doing that same thing? You dig a hole for your own self, trying to rely on somebody that can't help himself. Some of the people that don't even, I said ugly, I'm going to be real ugly. Excuse me, mama. Some people don't even know how to wipe their own tail.
Yep. Come on. See?
And I'm talking about, we sold out to them. Look at where we are in this society. We got one that might poop themselves at any time, and one is a complete nut. And we cheering.
Yeah.
Looking for help. Well, there are other people that really seek after God, that you know what they do? They do a good them. And that's what I do every day. A good me. That's all I can do. I'll wait like Job till my help comes. Because I know sooner or later, all my help comes from him. Come from the Lord. Come from God that made the heavens and the earth. I can't depend on nobody else no more. Waste of time, because now we live in a day, I believe this, that because of our actions, God looks at us standing at the Tower of Babel trying to make our way to heaven. He says, go down there and confuse them again. And if we're not a bunch of confused people, I don't know what we are.
Wow. That's good. Captain Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
It's good to hear folks talk about it, because it's so needed. God is, if you claim to be saved, you shouldn't be out here drifting as much as everybody else. It may be rough, but you shouldn't just be drifting like you don't know the master of the sea. There are, listen at what Miss Cassandra just told you, and then think about what she does.
Yep.
I mean, there has been points where I have gone to help people and ain't had a dime in my pocket, and just hoping I had enough gas to get to where I was going. But it was part of something that God revealed to me through meditation and building that relationship. I didn't mean you to carry these burdens. You leave them here on the altar and go do for somebody else. So that has been my motto for so long. It's to not allow my stuff to bog me down so much to where I can't help somebody else. I've prayed about things and put them on the altar and went and done for somebody else. And when I got there, prayer accepted. Whatever it was that was bothering me, gone. Now it get to the point when you get a little bit older right here, and you know how it is.
How?
Sometimes you have to lay your own hand on your own self.
I'm just trying to figure out why he just called me old. I'm just trying to figure out why that joker just gut punch me like that. Tucson, hold on, Leonard. Tucson. Tucson.
I just wanted you to be able to recognize what I'm talking about.
What you say now?
That joker just called me old, man. I can recognize a gut punch when I see it, especially when I see it coming. He said, when you get to be a certain age, Raheem, you will realize it. Wait a minute, you just called me old, man. That joker just
all you gotta do is look in the mirror and look. Do this, Raheem. See where your hair not growing.
Lord.
See how that worked out for you.
Look here.
Raheem.
Yes, sir.
If you got to, honestly, I pray for everything. I turn to God for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And because when God starts answering your prayers, it emboldens you to tell more and witness more. So you have to witness. I'm just overcome by Miss Cassandra because of her witness alone.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people need to hear that? And then they look at this woman and go, if I could only be that strong to continue. You know, some people would have went when they would have been trying to get all attention. Oh, I'm so bad, I ain't gonna do nothing. I just need help. I'm pitiful. That woman still get up every day trying to do for somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Exactly.
And you doing what with your life every day? I didn't hear you. Huh? What you doing every day? Now I'm gonna say I love how Pastor Dewey Smith said it. You may be Christian, but balance is so important. Don't abandon God when you need him the most.
Yeah.
When do you think you need him the most? When you on top of the mountain or in the valley? Think about it. You choose to abandon God because you was in the valley.
Come on.
Where you need him the most. Don't play God cheap like that. I used to say to myself about Job, what kind of God? Well, how in the world? You mean God, his kids and all these folk died and then all his stuff was gone? And somehow God replaced it more than what he had before. Now was Job supposed to hang on to what he lost or what God was going to give him? Think about it. You can't even conceive, some of you, this at this point in your life where you are in the journey. How can it be better than this? Then I challenge you in your faith. What do you think faith is for? It's for hope. So if think about it, when somebody come after you, they try to paint a dark picture for you.
Yep.
Oh, you ain't gonna be nothing. Ain't nobody in your family ever been nothing. Well, you know this. The world say this, and the world is so bad, and so. But are you fighting against it, or are you with it, for it? You know, in this world, meant a lot to us when we were younger. It's definitely a fact that I'm here.
Yeah.
But I ain't gotta act like y'all.
Exactly. Cassandra, anything on your heart before we get out of here?
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, Cassandra, I want to ask you a question. There's somebody tune into this broadcast late today. Way out Wednesday. I don't know how they could come in late on a Wednesday. 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:15, maybe even 9:30. Not 9:30, but 9:30. We say it a certain way around here. And they say, man, I sure wish there was a way I could hear or see this broadcast in its entirety. I wish there was a way. Cassandra, are you able to help them out?
I can definitely help them out with that. If you have missed the show in any part and would like to see or hear it in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to dkmmediagroup.com. Once again, if you've missed any part of the show and would like to see or hear it in its entirety, tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal, good deal. Brother Toussaint.
Raheem,
Yes, ma'am.
can I get Toussaint to pray for my grandson? I'm actually getting dressed as we're talking. My daughter called me from Maryland to say that he is sick, so I'm on my way to Kennesaw to pick him up to take him to the emergency room.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Toussaint, can you cover that, brother?
Yeah, what's his name?
Dejan.
Dejan.
Pray us out, sir.
All right, God, for some now. We're learning that all things we give thanks. We give you all glory and honor, and we bless you at all times. And it's your praise that continuously be in our mouth. We boast about you. We're going to keep on telling the humble, see and be glad. We tasted and see that you're good. Thank you, God. We ask that you would bless our issues and circumstances. Now, Janice, John, Dejan, now we bring before you any situation. You said we can cast all of our cares on you because we know that you care for us, and we know that there is a balm in Gilead position in the house, and the name is Jesus. But we believe the author and the finisher of our faith. So we put him before you and say, God, just be God. Have your way in his life. And not only him, there are others that are sick, have issues, problems, circumstances, situations, issues of life. We know that we're born of a woman, we have a few days and full of trouble. But if it had not been for you on our side,
Yes.
help us in all things to, God, just trust you. Then search our hearts and our minds, that we all would be receptive and then submit to your will and your way. Have your way in our lives until you get the glory out of it. Bless now the Morning Glow and all that have heard and have spoken. We ask that you would be glorified while all of us be edified.
Yes.
We bless you even for the things we failed to mention. Put it in your hands and say again, God, have your way. This is as we go through this day, keep us in your care. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:03. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will as well. Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow morning if God says the same. Love you, and please be blessed.